Hey guys, Paul Butler here from PrimeDisclosure.com. Couple things I saw here in the news today that I thought was interesting on the lamestream media. Here on Yahoo, I do use them for email, so when I went to log in today, there were a couple things that popped up I thought were interesting. You're seeing more and more stuff like this because this is the information people really want. Look at this one. Moon landing truthers swear this photo is the ultimate proof of a faked Apollo landing. By now, you've no doubt seen and heard the case that conspiracy theorists have put forth regarding their belief that NASA never actually landed on the moon. Oh, really? Wow. I'm sure you've heard about it, because most people are questioning this false view of reality. You have to question everything anymore because what we've been fed, the lies we've been fed over the years, it start to look like everything is a lie. So I saw this pop up also, this other article on the Washington Post. It's no longer on here. They pulled it off, but this man is about to launch himself in his homemade rocket to prove the Earth is flat. Now, they were saying, I'm sure you've heard of this theory about the flat Earth. Seeing that there's tens of thousands of people talking about this, researching it. Let's see here. November 1st, 2017.
How much does Geico love saving people money on car insurance? More than virtual assistants love to annoy you.
When does the gym close?
Gym who?
No, gym close.
Gym close. Ordering now.
I'll call the gym.
Calling Gym Mobile.
No, please.
Let's mute that for a second. We don't want to hear that gibberish. Here we go. Let's see. Mike Hughes, a 61-year-old limo driver and self-taught rocket builder. He plans to fly a homemade rocket 1,800 feet above the Mojave Desert in California. Hughes claims his rocket will fly at 500 miles per hour. His goal is to eventually fly a rocket high enough to get a photographic evidence that the Earth is flat. Flat Earth theorists like Hughes claim the Earth is a disk and not a globe. If Earth really was a sphere hurtling through space, the water would be whatever. On Earth, many flat earthers contend that NASA has doctored images of the Earth from space. The rise of flat earthers in society provides some of the best evidence for the failure of our educational system by the Walsh. NASA astronauts were to respond. The Earth is round. I flew around it. Oh, here's your curve in this CGI image. Look at how fake that looks. Now, I'm not saying if the Earth is flat or round. I'm just saying this flat Earth movement is raising a lot of questions that do not make sense. Now, I know a lot of people are bashing this and saying it's a psyop and this and that and you're stupid. But I have to tell you, some of the brightest people that I know on this planet that read many books, do tons of research, are seeing that there is a lot of evidence that potentially this Earth is flat. But what I'm saying, this guy, he's making this little rocket. Okay, let me read you something here. But first I'm saying I think there's easier ways to prove if the Earth is flat than flying, launching yourself in this homemade rocket that potentially could lead to disaster. So seeking to prove that a conspiracy of astronauts fabricated the shape of the Earth, a California man intends to launch himself 1,800 feet high on Saturday in a rocket he built from scrap metal. Assuming the 500 mile-long flight through the Mojave Desert does not kill him, Mike Hughes told the Associated Press his journey into the atmosflat will mark the first phase of his ambitious flat Earth space program. Hughes' ultimate goal is a subsequent launch that puts him miles above the Earth, where the 61-year-old limousine driver hopes to photograph proof of the disk we all live on. A photo's not going to prove anything, because even if the Earth was a disk, it would still be a round shape, or we're inside a sphere, or, a camera's only going to take in so much of the view. I'll shut the door on this ball Earth, Hughes said in a fundraising interview with a Flat Earth group for Saturday's flight. So I believe he plans on doing it this Friday the 25th. Theories discussed in the interview include NASA being controlled by round Earth Freemasons and Elon Musk making fake rockets from blimps. Hughes promised the Flat Earth community that he would expose the conspiracy with his steam-powered rocket, which will launch from a heavily modified mobile home, though he acknowledged that he still had much to learn about rocket science. This whole tech thing, he said in a June interview, I'm really behind the 8-ball. So this is on Washington Post here, that's showing up SpaceX blowing up. Let's see here what we got. So I'll put a link in the description below to this article, but here's his rocket that he made. That doesn't look too safe to me. I mean, you could launch a rocket with a video camera on it. I don't know. I mean, he might be trying to get his 10 seconds of fame, but based on these flat Earth theories, I think it would be much safer to go to the South Pole. Now, I know, like Antarctica, it's very difficult to get up on that several hundred foot to a couple thousand foot plateau, although Admiral Byrd supposedly did it in Operation High Jump back in the 40s or 30s. But I think it would be safer to, get in a heated vehicle, something that they use up in the tundra in Alaska, head to the South Pole. Now, if some of these theories are correct, you should hit a firmament wall, or if it's an infinite plane or whatnot, or circumnavigate Antarctica, because based on the globe model, it should take you probably several weeks. Based on a flat Earth model, some people are estimating a year or two to circumnavigate, but that would tell you that I think it'd be easier, safer to circumnavigate the Antarctica than based on this kind of model. So you can see people are saying that Antarctica surrounds this flat Earth. The compasses always point to this north point. So this is a huge trend on the internet, this flat Earth. And once you look into it, it does open a lot of questions. Now, if you don't look into it, you're going to say, yeah, this is the dumbest thing I ever heard, because we're brainwashed to believe certain things. Now, it's inconclusive. Now, I know people say, no, it's definitely a sphere because NASA said it. Now we're seeing that pretty much everything NASA puts out is a lie. So we'll see here. One day, people are raising funds to do these projects, to put this to rest, because this is something that is a big deal if it were true. Now, if you're going to jump to conclusions and say, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard, I want to ask you, how many books have you read in the last year? I'm just curious. Like, if you're going to bash everything in comments, that's pretty easy. All you need is a first grade education to bash things, but just curious. If you're going to put a negative comment, put in that comment along with whatever stupid thing you have to say, how many books you've read in the last year. I'm just curious. Or in your